What's going on, guys? Back at it again with another video. In today's video, we are doing a together artist. It is my girl Taylor Acorn. If you saw the video way back when, it was one of our first videos. I did it in an artist ranking when she had less than 50,000 followers. Now she has way more than that and has two genres of music. And one of those genres our co-host likes a lot, and I've gotten him to like this artist not as much as I do, but I would say a lot more. So we've turned this into a together video.
So we were thinking about what video to kind of backlog for this little summer period here. We were thinking of a smaller one, and there's a couple of our older videos on our channel that we wanted to go ahead and redo, just because they're some of our first videos. Our comments maybe aren't as in depth. The art, maybe our opinions on some songs and art and artists in general have changed, and maybe they dropped a lot of new music that we want to talk about when they were a lot smaller at the beginning. There's a couple of those that we wanted to re-record, and we decided that this was a good time for Taylor Acorn to get a re-record. So as you can see in the thumbnail, it does say re-record because we have done this video before. The original video has been privated, so you can't watch that anymore. I guess if there's a desire for it to come back in the comments, let me know and I can back up. But we just wanted to show Taylor Acorn some more love on her more recent pop punk stuff because it's almost like an entirely different artist, even though it's not. There are a couple other artists that we want to do this with. Not saying we're going to do this for every artist that we've already covered that drops new music, because honestly, some of them are just too big to the point where we're not going to go through and do all of that again. But Taylor Acorn is small enough where it was feasible, and I'm happy that we're getting to do it.
Yeah, I mean, she had like 21 when I originally did it, and now she has like 35, 36. So, like, over what, a year or so later, she only has dropped 15 songs. So, that's not too bad. Where, like, an artist that has like 60 plus, and then imagine if they drop like another like two albums, it's like, well, that's another like 30 songs that we have to do, for just an example.
So we'll talk about that more in the outro.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's not waste any more of y'all's time. Get on.
Where you've been, and it hurts like hell. I drown you out again. Whatever it is, it's gonna get me over you. It's not.
Coming in last place, 36, we have It's Not This featuring Dan Swank. This was bottom on Sean's original go through and that original video that we talked about from forever ago. I agree with him when he did it. I still agree now that I have to say. This is not playlist boring. It's going in there. There's no vocal chemistry between Taylor and Dan Swank here. Love Dan Swank for his all-time level contributions, but Taylor really outshines him on this 4-minute long snooze fest.
This is still the only Taylor Acorn song to this day, even with her newer stuff that I do not have saved. Will never save it. Taylor sounds fantastic, but it is a slow ballad, which normally works for me. But I think Dan Swank completely ruins the song. I don't like his voice at all. Taylor is the highlight, which I knew was going in, but he makes the song not only not savable, but it's not listenable. It's just not good.
Really boring. I completely agreed with Sean the first time around. We're both still in agreement here. Last place.
Was the timing of the song just right? The way you look through my eyes, straight into me.
Coming in at number 35, we have 17. This is the slowest song in the whole discography, and I don't think it's close. I love Taylor's voice, don't get me wrong, but the lack of pacing here is almost hard to listen to. It has a 3-minute and 23-second runtime, and I'm already done with the first chorus, and I feel like I have the gist of what the song is. A really slow song that builds to a slightly faster chorus. A slightly louder chorus.
Rev up those fryers, because this song is boring as crap.
Rev up those fryers!
No pacing. There's no pacing here. It's just Taylor singing over a soft guitar. And don't get me wrong, she has the vocal talent, but there's no catchy element and no pacing. Just some soft guitars in her voice. It's too slow and is still, fun fact, putting me to sleep. That playlist for sure.
Yep, 35.
The bottom of a bottle's all I know anymore. And it used to be you. Boy, what do I do?
Coming in at 34, we had What Do I Do? The piano and the guitars at the beginning really contrast each other. I'm not sure how great it all mixes together. It's trying to be a slow ballad, but it's also trying to be a quick song at the same time. The chorus is kind of the same way. The song really isn't sure what kind of song it's trying to be. The chorus feels pretty repetitive with the repetition of the title line, but as a whole, you can tell that this is just early Taylor who hasn't quite found her groove quite yet.
I like the piano behind Taylor's vocals here. I think that's a great accompaniment, but the song builds to the title line being repeated over and over again. That's it. That's my chorus. Nice. There's no change in this song at all from a pace perspective. She adds a drum in the second verse, which is great and all, but the chorus truly crushes this song from gaining any momentum and getting any higher on the list.
Yeah, I completely agree. In this bottom tier, we were kind of all on the same page. The bottom two, we put them in the same spot. This one was one off. So yeah, song comes in at 34.
That's going to wrap up the bottom tier. We're going to get on into the mid tier. These songs are a little bit better, but they're still missing a good amount. So let's see what they got going on.
Stole my heart and you ran like a true crime. Now I lay here awake, wondering where'd you go? And did you ever feel the same? Guess I'll never know.
Coming in number 33, we have True Crime. I saw Taylor a few weeks ago as I was writing this, probably a couple months ago now, which was fantastic, by the way. Would recommend seeing her if she ever comes around again to a city near you. She brought up her country era and asked if anyone knew of that, and not many people did. But this was the song that she played in reference to that era. As all of you have heard from the songs that were already in this video, this is not a country song. This was the last quote-unquote country song that she released before fully switching to pop punk. I thought this song was amazing when I first heard it, but looking back on it, it's definitely not as good as I remember. The song as a whole builds to nothing, and the chorus just gets louder, the chorus is just a louder version of the verses.
Yeah, so Sean was obsessed with this song to the point where I heard it a million times just from being in his car. I was honestly stunned when I saw where he placed this. I've always been underwhelmed with it. I don't think it's a bad song, but there's really just not much going on. The verses are pretty slow and kind of boring, and the chorus doesn't really change the song much. The instruments just get louder, and Taylor has to really strain her voice to try to be heard. I like the guitars in the background, but this was back in the day where she hadn't really fully committed to the pop punk change, but was kind of leaning away from country, and it shows because I feel like genre wise, the song isn't really sure what it's trying to be.
Yeah, I was definitely much higher on this. I think because it was newer. But like looking back on it, it definitely is not as good as I remember it being, which is typical with some songs. But I think down here is probably a better place for it.
Yeah. Comes in at 33.
I need relief, yeah. It's like you stole my sanity, and I'm strung out. Can't sleep, gotta numb the pain of the memory.
Coming in at 32, we have Therapy. Therapy by Oksana. That's unfortunate because that song is way better than this one. I like the intro to the song, and there's a nice little beat going through the verses, but the chorus here is just so incredibly underwhelming. There's no speed up at all, and there's no payoff to the build. I think the verses do a good job of a lot of good things. There we go. I think the verses do a lot of good things, but the chorus is just a massive nothing burger. But it is this high because the verses bring a lot to the table, and I like how the song isn't fully in the yeehaw lane. I had it a little bit higher than Sean. I put it up at 26.
I really wasn't expecting a trap beat from a Taylor Acorn song, but here we are. I like the intro guitar finger picking, but it gets replaced with a trap beat, and that's not what I wanted. The chorus is also just does not add to that change. Taylor just sings louder with no pace change. That the second pre chorus to chorus does does a slightly better a slightly better job of adding a little pace, but there really isn't a whole lot here in the song. I put the song at 32. I don't think the song's that great.
Yeah, I agree. There are other ones that I was lower. We basically agreed. There's just other ones that I'm lower on.
Yeah, 32. Coming in number 31, we have Are We? This is another trap style song from Taylor. It's funny, when this song came out, / when she was teasing it, I thought this was the best thing she's ever released at the time. Looking back on it, it's not even close. The opening guitar is taken out completely for a slow backing drum, and the entire chorus is just repeating Are We and all the following by lyrics. The backing beat is slow, and it's hard to tap my foot along to this song. It builds to nothing and doesn't wow me in any way.
There's some nice guitars at the start of the song that make it sound like a rock song is coming, but that's not what's coming. The snaps in the verses work well with the guitars to create a nice groove, but the chorus is such a letdown. There's title line repetition, there's no speed up, and it's just unfortunate. I remember saying this in the original video, but this is her straddling that rock/country line. The verses are more rock leaning, but that chorus doesn't fully commit to the rock and leads more into the country music side. Not a bad song, very fine overall.
Yeah, 31.
Everything I know, too busy paying my bills to pay attention to my feelings, and I'm too caught up in my head to call my friends I haven't seen in a while. It's been a year since
Coming in at 30, we have Paper Airplanes. So this was Sean's one when he made the original video. I knew that it wouldn't be one this time because I gotta say, but I was stunned that I saw that he placed it at 24. As I said in the original video, I think this is a pretty boring ballad. The verses aren't bad, but there's just zero payoff here. The minimal backing instrumentation in the verses allows for her voice to shine, which it does, don't get me wrong, but I want that chorus to really elevate the song and come in and be really catchy, and that's just not what I get. I get a continued slow burn. I don't think it's bad, but I just want so much more from it.
Yeah, like this used to be my favorite song by Taylor, and even though it has been passed by others and in the discography, I did enjoy like I still do enjoy this song a good amount. Why I put it at 24 is because I was looking back on it and like I put it at 1 because of the sentimental value that it had, and then I went back to read the comments that I had, and then I was also thinking about it. I was like, the sentimental value isn't like it's there, but like they're just objectively better songs. So that's why I dropped it as low as as I did, dropping it 23 spots. But the finger picking behind Taylor does sound cool. Like looking back at it, it doesn't hit as hard for me as it once did. The build to the chorus is better than the chorus itself. It feels pretty flat. It slows the song down while they do go back to the original speed. The second half of the chorus is the part that brings the song down in my ranking. Plus, the sentimental value just isn't as there as it was.
Yeah, I'm happy you dropped it. I still think this is boring. I thought it was boring then. But, yeah, 30. And that's going to wrap up the meh tier. We're going to get on into the good tier. These songs are just a little bit better. Let's get on.
Coming in at number 29, we have Same. It still sounds weird hearing Taylor Acorn singing country music, considering what she's doing now. But anyways, I like the piano / guitar opening, making for something epic. But then the heavy piano cuts out, and there's just a soft guitar, which is extremely disappointing. There's a drum that comes in 35 seconds in for catchiness. I think the chorus is solid, but it's not nothing breathtaking. It adds on this the speed change and does its job completing the song, but nothing in but nothing incredible.
The start of the song is interesting with the piano keys transitioning into acoustic guitars. The verses allow for Taylor's vocals to shine, and I like the backing guitars, but there's a real lack of pacing in these verses. The chorus slightly speeds the song up, and Taylor's singing gets slightly louder, but the chorus isn't particularly catchy, and there's no real punch here. It's pretty boring all throughout, and the chorus is really lacking, in my opinion. She's got way better.
Yeah, I agree. 29.
To myself, I can't help thinking about how good it could be, but you're with somebody else.
So coming in at number 28 is Somebody Else. I like the opening to the song. It really starts with a nice mix of guitars and piano. It gives the verses a pretty nice pacing to them, and it makes me enjoy the build to the song. However, the chorus just lets me down here. You feel the elements that lean towards pop punk, but she's hesitating from fully committing here. I think it's on the better end of her pre pop punk output because there's at least a little bit of a groove here, but it's just not quite as good as the pop punk stuff. I love the guitar solo section at the end of the song, though.
I like that guitar. I like that the guitar is back instead of the trap beats here. The song starts out fairly slow for the first verse. The song takes a full minute to build, and it builds to the tide line being held out. That's it. No pace change. It just gets louder instrumentation wise to hold out 2 words. Great. I like that there's more musical elements here other than trap stuff, but the chorus is just extremely disappointing. That's why I put it at 31.
Yeah. Was it 28?
That stuff staring right up at the stars in the sky. On some old Springsteen, crank it on up, feel the heat as we
Coming in at number 27, we have Something Tonight. This is one of the cooler intros of the discography for sure. I really like those echoed vocals. When the actual vocals come in, I like them, but the lack of instrumentation is definitely interesting. They only add snaps during the pre chorus, and I think the pre chorus as a whole builds to a slightly quicker chorus, which is good, but again, it isn't great. The second pre-chorus is quicker, and I caught myself grooving along, but again, that chorus is just a little bit too flat for me, and that's why.
That intro is wonderful. I remember pointing that out in the original video. The verses slow the song down compared to the intro. There are some nice snaps introduced for the build. The chorus is still a little underwhelming, though. That intro makes it sound like you're in for a fast paced and upbeat song, and that is unfortunately just not the case. Those O's sound fantastic whenever they appear, but the verses are too slow, and the chorus doesn't have that catchy factor that it needs to really elevate the song. It's very fine as a whole, but it's definitely a missed opportunity for country era Taylor. She does hit some nice notes here, though, and shows off her talent. It's not a bad song, just outclassed.
Yeah, 27.
on your mind. You won't take me for a fool. I'm seeing right through your lies, and I'll be fine without
Coming in at 26, we have Without You. I like the verses to this one. There's a nice pacing going on, and the chorus does a pretty good job of remaining relatively catchy. There's a nice banjo going on in the background as well. It's a pretty simple country song, but there's definitely some positive elements here. I just think her voice in general works so much better on pop punk stuff.
Taylor's debut song is a catchy one. It's almost a dubstep country song. She uses a backing beat and snaps as a focal point during the verses, but explodes into a full band in the chorus, adding pace and sound volume in the process. She then replaces the snaps as a focal point for drumming and banjo, while adding even more tempo. First of many solid entries from Taylor.
Yeah, 26.
still in my closet. And every time I touch it, if I'm being honest, still see that clock in your headlight going straight through that stop sign.
Going in at number 25, we have Back to You. I like the opening guitar riff to bring in Taylor's voice. The pre-chorus adds a drum, and then the chorus adds a louder drum and some pacing. I think the chorus is good, but doesn't pack the punch that it needs to. I do find my foot tapping along to the drum slash a guitar, but this is another good song that isn't fully great.
I like the build that the verses have. They have a nice pacing to them, and then the chorus comes in and it keeps the energy going. The song as a whole is still too in the country lane for me, but pacing, man, so happy to have it. There's a foot tapping element to the song despite its countryness being very prevalent with that bashing banjo. The vocals here are also pretty nice as well. All around, it's a solid song, even if it's not my personal favorite.
Yep. 25.
But I miss my mom, miss my old friends. I'm missing everything I always thought I would. And I miss the way I drive through my old town and think about how life would be better if I just got up.
Coming in at 24, we have 28. I was so sad when this song came out. I was like, we're still doing the slow snoozer thing. Thought we moved past that. As for why it's above said other snoozers, she's matured as a vocalist and a songwriter, with this one it's better than those. It's lyrically heartbreaking, it just sounds great over the soft guitars, but there's no catchy element at all. I'm not really big on Taylor's slow songs as a whole for whatever reason, and this is no exception. The part where she says miss it, really miss it, doesn't really work for me, and overall, this is putting me to sleep and going in the nap playlist.
Who doesn't love a good sentimental placement, which we will get a disagreement. I know I do. So when this song came out, I was at a job that I hated, didn't know what I wanted to do in my life, and also not in a good place in life. So naturally, I resonated with the song wholeheartedly. An acoustic song with heavier lyricism signed me up. Finger picking, check. Great vocals, check. Objectively, this song should not be this high, but sentimental gets it up for me this high, and I don't care.
Yeah, without the sentimental, this song's boring as shit. I think it should be lower, but comes in a check.
For the good tier, we're gonna get into the great tier. These songs are much better than the songs that we've already heard, but they're still missing a little bit of something.
They're great.
Can't find the door. It's coming into focus. Might be the road west. I didn't know it, but yes, rock bottom has a basement. Never thought it could get
Coming in number 23, we have Basement. I think this is the most disappointing song in her whole discography, and I don't think this is really close. The hype of this song was so high when the song came out. The chorus is just basement and a higher key. It's interesting since the song starts off fast before the vocals come in, and then they slow down to a crawl when Taylor's vocals actually come in. The vocals sound great in the verses slash chorus, but just doesn't hit from a catchy factor at all. It is one of the faster songs, but doesn't wow me at all.
This is the bottom song that I have saved coming in at 18 for me personally. When this song came out, Sean and I were both on the exact same page with it. We both went, wow, this Taylor Acorn song sure does exist, doesn't it? And that about sums it up. I like Taylor Acorn's pop punk music enough where that still leads to it being in the save tier, but this is an all around solid song with nothing spectacular elevated above the other pop punk songs for me.
I think solid might be a little much. I think it's okay, but because it is pop punk and it's more faster, that's why I put it at 23. But I don't think it's solid.
I mean, I wouldn't have it saved if I didn't like it.
I don't. It's hard because I don't. I mean, like I have everything saved by Taylor, so my opinion on what savability is very lackluster here. But I don't know. Like I was just so disappointed by this song. Like it's not even funny.
Yeah, this song came out when you came to visit me. I listened to it in my car.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, this is fine. Basement, right there.
oh, why don't you follow me all the way down? We had no reason to find a way out. Feeling some kind of sinister, babe. Oh, why don't you come get on my level?
Coming in at 22, we have Sinister. So this was a standout for me in the original video as one that I saved, and I continue to enjoy this one. It's one of the rare pre-pop punk era songs with pacing. I like the acoustic guitars at the start of the song, and then the beat comes in and it all just sounds great with Taylor's vocals. And then the chorus works really well as well. It speeds up the song and it's pretty catchy while allowing Taylor's voice to really shine. The entire song gives up off this kind of spooky feel to it, which works really well considering the song is called Sinister. I still enjoy this one, and I think Sean highly underrated it in the original video, and I think he highly underrated it again in this one.
I like the focal point being a bass slash starter guitar in the verses with the backing drum beat that actually works for the spooky vibe they were going for here. The chorus actually builds on the momentum and Taylor crushes it vocally here. It isn't overly click, but I like how the instruments cut out slightly so the vocals can shine. This is one of the songs where the backing beat actually works with her early work here. Why I put this at 30 and didn't put any higher is because I never really came back to it, and I always thought this song was like it it went down in spots the more that I listened to this ranking. It was more because I put other songs up, and this song just happened to be a casualty of moving songs down.
Yeah, well, I like it. And it comes in at 22.
Coming in at number 21, we have Like the Movies. Objectively, the song should not be this high where I put it, and I'm 100% okay with it. This is another sentimental placement, and I'm totally okay with it. Fight me in the comments. The premise of this song is you gotta figure things out, and nothing is going to save you when things go south. The moment I heard the snippet of the song, I knew I knew it was going to click, and it still does to this day. You can feel the emotion Taylor is trying to convey in the chorus, especially when she goes up an octave for the bridge. I love this song, and I knew Brett was going to hate it originally.
The guitars behind this one are pretty nice, and this is another one with some really powerful lyrics, especially in that verse. Wow. The chorus in this one at least has a little bit of a build to it, which is nice. It's still not catchy, like at all, and I'm still left really wanting a lot more from the song. But the chorus at least speeds it up ever so slightly and gives Taylor a chance to show off her vocal talent. The bridge is nice, and there's a slowdown to allow for the final chorus to come in, but it just doesn't explode in like I wanted to. Great vocal performance, still extremely underwhelming.
Yep, 21.
Coming in at 20, we have Put It in the Song. Yeah, this is for sure country era, down to the fake twang in her voice. But this one has pacing. We like pacing. This chorus is pretty catchy, and that alone has got to get it on the high end of the country era. Fun fact, it's the highest country era song that I have saved. The song is still a little too yeehaw for me to save it, and I don't think the chorus is good enough to make up for the fact that the verses are a tad bit of a slog. But again, country era Taylor really lacked pacing at points, and this does not have a pacing problem, so that's at least a positive.
The song opens with softer guitar with Taylor's vocals being the bright spot. When the chorus comes in, she adds much needed speed to the chorus to keep my foot tapping along. She adds snaps in the second verse as the drumming aspect, which is cool. But the chorus really steals the show here. I think I just preferred others, is why I put it at 21.
Yeah, I agree. I also just prefer others, and it ended up at 20.
Coming in at number 19, we have Wishing You Hell. I've always thought this was a stereotypical pop punk song, overly aggressive, slightly catchy, but not insanely fast and with heavy instrumentation. The chorus is better than the verses, but I can't tell when each part of the song is since there are no transitions in the song. This is the only song of the pop punk era that has a flow problem, and I think it's just overly aggressive for no reason.
There's some really nice guitars that open up this song. There's a nice build going on in the verses, and the chorus is definitely interesting. There's a cool guitar riff, but that's really all I have to say with some substance. The chorus is another one here where it's solid but not spectacular. I do have it saved, but it works but doesn't wow me in the same way that some of the other ones do.
Yeah, 19.
Just wanna make sense of it all. Guess what I'm saying? How is I supposed to know? I feel nothing in my bones. Been putting on a show for everybody but me. I've been
17, we've got shape shifting. I like the guitars that open up the song, and you can't help but tap your foot along to the drum beat throughout the verses. While I do like this chorus and the lyrics are awesome, I've always just been a tad underwhelmed by the chorus here. I still do like the song, and don't get me wrong, but again, we're nitpicking. The title line being placed at the end of the chorus just doesn't pack the same punch that I want it to. Now, as for why it's this high, I love this bridge, and it's a fairly catchy pop punk song. I still sing along the jam to it, but I just think Taylor has better pop punk songs.
This is one of the more aggressive pop punk songs from Taylor. This is another one that I used to love, but now that I think it's good, but no longer elite. The distorted vocals with the heavy guitar brings you into this headbanger early. Then they added some drums with some speed as well. The chorus is slightly slowed down, but the emphasis on Taylor's voice allows her to show the emotion from her words. I like how the second chorus keeps the verse speed from the first verse, which is a needed change. The bridge has a slightly different dynamic to bring just the title line with the build to that final chorus. I think this is a good, not great song.
Yeah, I agree. I just both of us just preferred others. So, 18.
Guys like you, yeah, your confidence is magic. A smile is problematic. Got me falling, boy, it's tragic. I guess it's true. I will never understand when we say we need a man, but who do we run to?
Coming in number 17, we have Guys Like You. After listening for this ranking, this isn't her best country effort anymore, but it is close. I think her voice is fantastic. I like the synthesized beat behind the guitar and vocals. It allows the song to speed up naturally. The verses have a softer guitar, while the choruses are more full band oriented. It's also funny premise wise, looking for love, but they always find the jerk every time. Plus, Taylor hits some great notes.
This is another one I've heard a million times from just being in Sean's car. It's definitely one of the better pre-pop punk era songs, even if it's not quite good enough to get into the save tier for me. The instruments that open up the song are very country, and Taylor has this twang in her voice that would later leave. The verses are not bad, with Taylor being allowed to shine over the softer instrumentation. The chorus speeds the song up, which I really appreciate, and I definitely think it's needed. It's decently catchy. It's not amazing, but it's to the point where I know the words just from hearing it all the time. Not terribly far off from the save tier, and definitely one of her better country era efforts.
Yeah, 17.
Just another hopeless, broken heart cliche. And all my fairy tale ambitions, I just watch them wash away. To the sound of you laughing in that Kodak of your face.
Coming in at 16, we have If You Could See Me Now. While this isn't a pop punk song, you can tell that that's the direction that she's leaning with this one. The guitars that start the song are really cool, and there's a nice riff going. The verses allow Taylor's voice to shine, which is awesome, and she kills it. The chorus does underwhelm me here, though. I want a big explosion chorus to come in and make use of those guitars, but this isn't quite pop punk Taylor yet, so that's not what we get here. You get a flat chorus with a very slight speed up and an instrument change. It's mildly catchy for a song that's a little bit slower, but this one just can't stand up to the pop punk stuff for me.
Of the songs that I would play most often in my car from Taylor, this is still one of those songs to this day. The amount of positivity that the song has about turning the page and things will be alright in the end is crazy. It's on the catchier side too. The simple guitar allows Taylor's vocals to shine, and it's 3 minutes and 29 seconds of pure happiness.
Yeah, comes in at 15.
And so I fake a smile, pretend I'm fine. 'Cause for a while I haven't been in my mind. The doctor said to change my meds, but I don't wanna do that again. I tell my mom it's all alright when I don't get an ounce of sleep.
Coming in at number 15, we have Do That Again demo. Objectively, this is the third and final time I'm doing this. That this song should not be this high, but I'm okay with it. This song hits home for me for so many reasons. It's helped me through so many tough times. The chorus really shows how emotion can work in a song, and I can feel every word from beginning to end. Fake a smile, pretend I'm fine is something that you got to do, even when you're at your worst, especially being like coming from a guy. I had this song on repeat for 3 weeks straight when it came out. Amazing song. This is the only song that I didn't change my comments on from the original video, since my comments haven't changed, and I still think this song is incredible.
The acoustic guitar that's here is really pretty, and if you take a second to listen to the lyrics, they're incredibly powerful. The chorus of this one works pretty well for a slow song, but that is, in fact, my holdback with this one still. It's a slow song with not really much happening. There's no build and zero backing instrumentation other than that acoustic guitar. Don't get me wrong, Taylor's absolutely got the voice for a song like this with no backing instruments. She vocally kills it. But there's no groove here at all. Nothing for me to sing along to and really make the song stick in my brain. The lyrics are fantastic, though. This is much like the last one, where it's just too slow for me. For whatever reason, Taylor's slower acoustic songs just don't work for me, and this is another case of that.
Yeah, 15. And that's the end grade tier. We're gonna get into the just shy tier. These songs are just missing that little something to get them into the top spots. Let's see what they got going on.
So let's play a game where I'll throw a little brick in your pretty little face. Yeah, easy on the eyes, but you're easier to hate. An angel's gonna fall if you come around. If my name's still on your tongue, then I'll rip it out. Since I'm already the bad guy in your head.
Coming in at 14, we've got Psycho. The song opens with some heavy hitting drums, and the verses really rely on those drums. I'm not quite sure how well it works in the verses, they're kind of slow. However, this chorus is absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorites. It may not have the same lyrical punch that a lot of the other songs have, but it's definitely got the sing along stuff with the head bobbing stuff. I love the slowdown in the bridge with the acoustic guitar. It really allows Taylor's voice to shine before all the instruments roar back in for one final chorus.
I think the song was hard to place. I really like the choruses, but I think the verses are a little bit lackluster. They seem very just getting to the chorus kind of vibes instead of actually building to something. But man, that chorus is one of the better ones in the discography. It's really quick, pacing wise, and catchy. I think the verses slow the entire song down, and that's not what I'm looking for. I like having a dynamic, but the verses just do not do it for me, and that's why I put it at
Wow, we said the exact same thing, but I put it at 9 and you put it at 18.
8. Yeah,
I think it's just a case of you like Taylor Acorn more than I do, so
correct.
you prefer other songs more than I do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Comes in at 14.
Coming in at number 13, we have High Horse. So this song came out the same day that I'm doing comments on this, so I'm putting this song where I would expect this song to go off of several listens. The faster guitar with drums attached brings catchy vibes right away. The chorus is solid, adding slightly more speed and some catchiness. I like the verses better than the choruses, which isn't usually good, but I think the chorus doesn't build from the verses at all. Both parts really sound the same here.
So this is the newest song at the time of this recording. We'll get into this for more in the outro of the video. I'm not quite sure if she's dropped anything since then, but this is still a great song. I love the verses. The guitar working there is especially awesome. The chorus comes in and really works for me, honestly. Karma's The Karma Never Forgets line closing it out works really well for me. And then it goes to Karma's a bitch. Let's fucking go. I did say that I reserve my right to change my mind on this one, so it is new, but for now, I thought that it was a solid placement. Now that I've had the time to sit on it for a little bit, I do agree with what I said. I ended up moving it up slightly higher than where I had it originally. I think this is a really solid pop punk entry for Taylor.
Yeah. Third.
Coming in at 12, we have In My Head. Pop Punk Effort number 2 isn't quite as good as Pop Punk Effort number 1 for me, but it's still good. The drum beat has me tapping my foot right from the start. The verses are solid, but they're a touch slower than I would like. But that chorus comes in and it really delivers. It speeds the song up in a much needed way. The first chorus cuts off right before that explosion part of the song, but the chorus is still pretty catchy. It's a very solid song that I enjoy and do have saved. Ultimately, I just preferred others.
Taylor's second pop punk effort is still one of her best ones. The distant vocals with faster drumming add some catchiness from the second one. From second one. Then the louder drums keeping the beat truly add the bobbing factor that the song needs. The chorus is why I have this song so high. I like how catchy it is and adds even more speed from the verses. The build to each chorus works well, and the transition seamlessly into each chorus. The speed factor gets the song higher than some of the songs below it.
Yeah, very, very solid effort for sure. Comes in 12.
Coming in at number 11, we have Left You Instead. So I vividly remember when she dropped this song and I was so caught off guard by it. I sent it to Brett and wanted his thoughts on it, and he loved it naturally because it's pop punk stuff. So I gave it another listen and also fell in love with it. Even a couple years later, with more pop punk songs out, I still think this is one of her better ones. I love how fast the song starts out and keeps up that same pacing. The chorus is the chorus slows the song down slowly, but builds back up to the title line, which helps the song flow better. Luckily, the rest of the song keeps up the same pacing from the beginning and the end of the chorus.
This was Taylor's moment. This was where she really jump started her career and made the pivot into pop punk music. As you can see from my list, I strongly prefer the pop punk music, as my top is entirely all of the pop punk music with like two exceptions. I was on board with the song right from the start, and at the time we did the original Taylor Acorn video, this was my favorite song. I really like this, even if it has been passed by other songs. The verses have a great pacing to them, and I love the guitars. They slowed down the song in the beginning of the chorus is awesome. It really works to allow Taylor's vocals to shine. And then the second half of the chorus comes in to speed the song back up. I think the song as a whole has a really great flow and it fits together rather seamlessly. The end of the song is a little bit repetitive, but this is still a fantastic pop punk song and a great welcome to the genre for her.
Yeah, love it.
Coming in at 10, we have Good Enough. This is a little bit of a slower pop punk outing, so naturally it's going to end up on the lower end of the pop punk section for me. The verses consist of just Taylor singing over a soft guitar before the drums come in. When the chorus does come in, though, I think it delivers. It's the definition of a big explosion chorus. It speeds the song up and all the instruments roar in. The lyrics, again, are pretty powerful, and I can't help but sing along to the chorus. It's a solid song, I just preferred others.
So when I was writing my comments, I was saying that I'm waiting for Brett and I'd have a disagreement on this one, but then I realized that it's pop punk, so the disagreement wasn't really that far off, and I'm totally okay with it. This is more of a sentimental placement, and I'm totally okay with it. I gravitated towards this song when the album came out solely because of the lyrical content and the meaning behind the song. The softer finger picking and Taylor's emotional vocals work really well in the verses. The chorus explodes with passion and emotion with the lyrics. My reflections, my worst critic. I'll never be good enough for you since I'll never be good enough for me. Always hitting home, and Taylor hits some great notes in the bridge as well.
Yes, comes in 10.
Coming in at number 9, we have I Think I'm in Love. This is one of the two love songs in the discography, hence the name of the title. So she released this song around Valentine's Day last year, and I was hooked on the finger picking alone in the intro. The softer guitar with Taylor's vocals allowed the song to build naturally when they gradually add faster drumming. The chorus is one of the more different ones, being just an acoustic guitar and some chanting woes. At first, I didn't love the woes, but I think they work with the enchanting call and response idea, especially since it really worked live.
I didn't know Taylor was allowed to make happy songs. Who knew? The guitars that open up the song are really nice. The flow of the verses in general gives the song a really catchy vibe. I think the slowdown actually works in the chorus here, as do the woes, which are both normally things I would complain about. But I think in the context of this song, they work. But they do stop the song from elevating. The harmonies in the chorus are great, and the bridge breaks the song up well, and it's a solid outing for sure.
Yeah, 11.
I'm trying not to break down with it. If there's a way out, I've lost my ticket. The sky is falling down. Long lights going up in flames. And I'm running on.
Coming in at 8, we have Everything Sucks. There's such a fast paced, head bobbing groove to the song right from the start. The guitars are awesome, and the chorus comes in and it works pretty well. The song is really reliant on O's, though, to deliver that title line, and I think it does hold the song back slightly. I like the bridge part, though, and the song as a whole is solid. I just think she has better.
So when I first heard this album, I thought this was my favorite song off of it. This is this is the other love song in the discography. I like this one slightly more because of the aggressive nature and it's slightly faster / catchier. This is definitely her bright spot of light song. The of the fast, clean guitar in the verses to heavier instrumentation with the drums in the chorus work really well as a contrast to one another. Even even the verses are on the faster slide, and they might be the quickest, and they might be quicker than the choruses. Just a great song.
Yeah, comes in at 8. And that's going to wrap up the Just Shies here. We're going to get on into the top tier, the cream of the crop, the top 7 songs that Taylor Acorn has to offer. Let's get it on.
This is meant for you to know what I wanted.
Coming in number 7, we have Coma. This is one of Taylor's heavier entries, but this one has some speed to it. The distorted vocals with the heavier instrumentation works really well. This is just a better shape shifting, and on all fronts, it's way faster, and the flow of the song from verse to chorus works exponentially better. I could bob my head along way easier. Taylor's vocals are fantastic, as they always are, but it isn't insanely fast, and that's why I didn't put it any higher. The bridge is the fastest part of the song, and I would have liked her to keep that pacing throughout.
The guitars that open up this song are awesome, and I really love that pacing in the verses. She sounds absolutely incredible, and I love the lyrics here. The chorus isn't super fast, like Sean mentioned, but I think it still works, and it sees Taylor hit some unbelievable notes. This is one of the rare circumstances where the slowdown to get to the title line actually works for me. Maybe it's because the title is Coma and that's something worth slowing down to pack a punch to get to, but it just works for me.
Yeah, 7.
Coming in at 6, we've got Red White. Yep, I did it. I said in the original video, and I stand by it here. This is Country Era Taylor's best song, and I don't think it's particularly close. Dare I say, I think it's even better than some of the pop punk songs. The guitars that kick off the song are really nice, and the flow in the verses is incredible. There's pacing right from the start, and it keeps you grooving throughout the verses. And then the chorus comes in, and it's just incredible. Super catchy. You can't really help but sing along to this one. The bridge works well here, and then the chorus comes back along to really wow you one final time. I like the song enough where it'll be above some of the pop punk songs, like I mentioned. It's just a fantastic song, and it was super underrated by Sean in the original video, and I'm happy to show it some love here.
This is the summer country song of the discography. It's easy to see why with that chorus. It's a faster chorus with great vocals. They keep the same pacing for the second verse, which is on the shorter side, but flows right into the second chorus, which Taylor shows off some great pipes. The verses in general are on the shorter side in comparison to the in comparison to the choruses. It's not necessarily like a problem, just something I noticed. And yes, Brett, I agree. This is her best country song.
Let's go, baby. Country Era Taylor represent in the top tier. I like 6.
we have Gray. Of all of the songs in Taylor's discography, this is beyond her best vocal performance. She has an incredible voice going up like 5 octaves in all of the choruses. Hearing this live gave me a new appreciation for how talented of a singer she actually is. The heavier muted guitars with the crash cymbals keep my head bobbing along until the rest of the kit comes in the chorus, which speeds the song up even more with those fantastic vocals. The slightly slower verses actually work here since they are catchy, and the build to the chorus works flawlessly.
There's some nice guitars that open up the song, and then the drums come in to really work well with Taylor's voice here. The chorus comes in and it's definitely catchy. I honestly don't really have a ton to say about the song, but it really works, and I love the upbeat nature of it and just how catchy it is. It all comes together really well, and it just works for me. The note she hits in the last chorus to end the song is also phenomenal. I did have this higher, but I ended up moving it down. At the end of the day, I just preferred others.
Yeah, fine.
They can't say that I'm a wreck, I'm a mess, I'm a certified depressant. All the
Going in at 4, we have Certified Depressant. This is a fantastic song from start to finish. The guitar riff is awesome, and the lyrics are really powerful here. But the highlight to the song is easily the chorus. The verses are solid, but that chorus comes in and it just really wows me. Any song below this one where I complained about a lackluster chorus, take notes here. This is what I want from a chorus. It explodes in, and it's just incredibly catchy. It's really to sing along to, and you bob your head quite easily. And that's not mentioning that the vocals here are fantastic. The bridge works really well where there's a slowdown with some nice drums, and then it roars back in for one final ride. It's a fantastic song. I think it's one of Taylor's best. I put it all the way up at 2.
The title track of the album is slightly on the slower side. Uh, uh, Considering it's this high, you need some context. The verses are slightly dragging, and the chorus isn't overly quick, but makes up for it for instrumentation and vocals. For a slower song instrumentally, I find myself bobbing my head along to the chorus. Taylor hits some great notes in the second chorus, especially, but she adds some slight speed in the bridge and to get into the final chorus. Ultimately, I just prefer others.
It's fine. Comes in at 4.
you're miserable. What's your condition? What's wrong with you? Is there something you're missing? How can you see through my self-deprecation? I'm bad for your health. What's your fixation? Go find someone else.
Coming in number 3, we have Sticking Around. The opening track off of Taylor's first album is a fantastic one. The catchiness factor is felt from second one with the faster guitar and vocals. Then Taylor's vocals cut out to add a drum and even more speed. I love the dynamic that the song has from a pre-chorus to chorus. It's really slow in the chorus, or sorry, it's really slow in the pre-chorus, then explodes into a fast chorus. Luckily, this song never lets up pacing wise in the second verse slash chorus. I think the song is incredible. I put it all the way at 2.
The guitars that open up this one are awesome. The song is fast paced right from the start as well. The verses keep up the fast paced action, and there's a slight slowdown leading into the chorus that just flows together really well. The chorus is fantastic. It keeps up the quick pacing and it remains incredibly catchy and easy to sing along to. This album contains a lot of Taylor's best work, in my opinion, and this song was a great start to it.
Yeah, 3.
Coming in at 2, we have Famous Last Words. The title obviously reminds me of the My Chemical Romance song, but this was my instant standout of the songs I hadn't heard before when the album came out. The verses have a great flow to them with the guitars, and I love the little drum part leading into the chorus. And that chorus just absolutely delivers. It's just so catchy, and I think it really keeps with the pacing, keeps me engaged. I love something to notice that Taylor hits also. I think it's just an incredibly underrated song with some awesome guitars. This and Certified Depressant were really close for me between my 3 and my 2. When I did this, I put Certified Depressant at 2 and this at 3. Looking at it now, I probably should have put this at 2 and Certified Depressant at 3. But this is just a phenomenal song, and I'm happy that it ended up at 2.
Mother of catchiness the song has. The claps and the faster guitar really bring the song in really well, and you know you're gonna be in here for a catchy ride. The slight slowdown in the pre-chorus allows the listener to breathe before she explodes in the chorus. In terms of catchiness, it's hard to find a catchier song in the discography here, and I see why Brett loves this so much. Originally, in my comments, I thought this was his favorite Taylor Acorn song, but I wasn't that far off being at 3. But yeah, I'm glad it's up here.
Just a great song, but it just got beaten out. Going in at 1, we have Greener. So going in, I knew that this was Sean's one. Hell, he told me that this might be a contender for his favorite song of all time, and that he wrote a clumsy level essay for it. I wanted to not put this at my 1 so bad, just to be different, and as justice for Clumsy being the only song worthy of a rant that long. Those of you who don't know what song I'm talking about, be sure to check out the All Time Low video. Not to spoil anything, but Clumsy is my favorite song by All Time Low. It is my favorite song of all time. But at the end of the day, while he is definitely not right on this being the best song ever, again, my opinion, Clumsy by All Time Low, he is right that this is the best Taylor Acorn song. The guitars and the verses sound really great with Taylor's vocals, and the chorus comes in and it just works really well. It's so catchy, and I love the switch up of the second half of the song brings. So now I will shut up and let Sean take it from here, as he probably talks for the next 6 minutes.
Okay, where are we at time-wise? All right, it's a minute and 36 seconds. Okay. I would apologize, guys, but I'm not sorry. This is the only artist ranking I've ever done where I've organized every other song before getting into my top song. I knew what my top song was going into this list, which is typical, but it was one of those from first listen of a clip favorite song kind of things. First off, this song, I'm guessing, is a response to 28 in her mind, since that was a low point in her life, and this is her getting past all of those low points to get to be as high as she is right now. She went from pretty much being kicked out of country music, which is why she's doing pop punk stuff. Obviously, we enjoy that more now as fans of her, obviously. But now she headlined her own sold out tour. She's with somebody. She's really happy. She's doing great, and all those kinds of things. Um, I really resonate with this song and both of these songs completely, which is why I had 28 where I put it. And this is part of the reason why I put this song where I put it. So I resonate with this song completely. Um, and this is her getting past all of those low points at to be at the height where she is right now. I resonate with that completely. A year and a half ago, as I said in my 28 comments, I was at I was at a job that I hated. I was in debt with money. Was the heaviest I ever was weight wise. I had no sense of where I wanted to do with my life, how I could get there, what I wanted to do with my life. I honestly considered ending things a couple times. I was not in a good headspace at all in my life. Then the next May, I got the job that I currently have, which has been my dream job since college. My parents thought it was a stupid idea to pursue it. There's a larger backstory, which I'm not getting in there, but just know I was not in a good headspace. But I got the job in May, and my life forever changed from that day. I went from coasting through life, hating everything, not wanting to get up any day, to loving my life, loving my job, moved closer to my work, lived with 2 really cool dudes, and honestly, I've never been happier. Taking better care of myself physically, financially, so I'm not nearly as worried about paying bigger bills and things. This song came out about a month ago, and it will most likely be my song of the year. It will be my song of the year. I don't care how many streams it will take me to get there, with however many streams it will get me to get there. It's been on my repeat playlist since it dropped. Hearing the song live when I saw Taylor last month was just incredible, since it sounded even better than I could have ever imagined. On Spotify, there are some songs that just capture parts of your life and they stay with you for a long time. This is one of those songs for me. When Taylor released 28, I was in a very similar position from not being where I wanted to be in my life. Turn around a year and a half later, when Greener comes out, I'm right where I want to be, know that things will be okay, and I'm just way happier as a person. Yeah, I should probably talk about the actual song. Sorry, guys. The song opens with a softer drum with Taylor's vocals. The added guitar in the pre-chorus adds some speed. Then there's the chorus. The explosive "The grass is greener on the other side" brings the listener in with the catchy drums. Great upper octave vocals from Taylor and really passionate lyrics. The more muted vocals in the second verse adds to the story of being stuck, running, feeling like out of bounds line, feeling like she has to stay where she was. The second chorus brings in the same passion and emotion from the first chorus. The "it looks better than I could ever have in mind, and now I see for miles and it's all mine" line has always resonated with me, since I never thought I'd be as happy as I was where I was work wise. The flow from verse to chorus is perfection from a pop punk perspective. The bridge leads right into that final chorus. The muted vocals in the outro put a bow on this perfect song. I don't remember I don't remember the last day since the song came out that I haven't listened to this song at least once. It comes on at least twice, since it's one of those songs where I can't listen to it just once. It's beyond an earworm. It never leaves my mind. Since, as this song states, the grass is always greener on the other side, and things will be better in time, even if it's not right away. Her most positive song, in my opinion, and in my opinion, I think it's her best. This song has been out for, like 3 months now, and it's already my favorite song of all time conversation. Fuck it, it's my favorite song. I'm saying it live on video. I haven't told you this, Brett, but it is actually my favorite song, and I can say that with full confidence. If you haven't listened to this song, please please do so for the catchiness factor or the sentimental factor. I don't care. Just give this 2 minute and 55-second song this 2 minute and 55-second masterpiece a listen, since it's done a number on life for me for the better, and I hope it can do something similar for you too. I love this song. I'm literally like shaking. I'm just it's just one of those songs that it's just like everything in life is just perfect, and I think this song is that for me. In terms of a time perspective, 7:35, so 6 minutes.
That was right. So I'm not going to try to follow that up. So we're just going to call it there. Number one.
And that's a wrap on the Taylor Acorn video. We appreciate you guys commenting, watching all the way through. I think this was a fun redo. I'm really glad that I was able to redo this. My opinions definitely have changed over the years since we've done this, or since we did this last time, which was a couple years ago. I'm really liking the pop punk stuff. Obviously, I like pop punk stuff, but like this is really cool to do, just to see the evolution of how her music has changed over the years. To start from a country artist that didn't get a lot of views to the pop punk heights that she is now. And yeah.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier in the intro, this is a re-record. There was an older version of a Taylor Acorn video up. It is no longer up. It is private. There are a couple other videos that we want to go back and re-record. Fuck it. The Arrows in Action one is one that we want to go back and redo. The Jordan Davis one is also one that we want to go back and redo. But I definitely think this was a good welcome into the idea of us re-recording some of our older, smaller videos. And I was definitely happy that we got to go back and redo this.
Yeah.
With me having to say, because the first time I didn't have any input at all.
Yeah, and I think the cool part for me was just like the comments difference is like, I wouldn't even say night and day, because it's like year to year literally, because it's like go from like 2 sentences to actual like paragraphs.
It's crazy. I mean, even when we look at it, like when I was doing the Ariana video, which if you haven't seen, be sure to check out. I would look at some of my comments from like the older Billboard videos, and they'd be like, "Wow, this comment is like so bad it's unusable."
Yeah,
But it's cool to see how our comments have gotten a lot better.
yeah, and it's the evolution of us actually listening to music. It's not just like us listening, and it's so bad that like now like I view songs now as not necessarily as rankings, but like wow, like I'm viewing it in a ranking lens and not just a hey I like it or I dislike it kind of lens, which is just bad for me. But I don't know.
That's kind of funny. One other thing that I did want to mention is that we are recording this video. If you watched that June update video, you would know this already, but if you haven't seen it, we recorded this video on June 10th. So it is entirely possible that she has released something between when this being recorded on June 10th and when this song is going up. I think she's already begun to tease something. So if she ends up releasing that before the video comes up, I apologize that it's not included, but this video is backlogged.
Yeah, we made this before Brett leaves. So if she released like anything, I'm sure I'll talk about it during the songs of the summer thing at the end of the summer. Since I'm sure it'll be on there at some point. But it's not because we don't want to talk about it. It's because it's literally not out yet.
Yeah, at the time of recording, it's not out, so it's not that we're avoiding it.
Yeah, it's none of that. Especially coming from me, yeah, you guys would know about it. Please.
Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say regarding this video.
Yeah, I just really appreciate like, comment, subscribe. Glad to have Steiny6 on here for this. I think I've always said this from the beginning that the together videos are always more fun because there's actual dialogue instead of just one person talking and then the other person giving their comments and then going like and pretty much just going to the next one. So I always thought that was nice, and I'm glad that I've beaten enough Taylor Acorn into you to actually like.
Yeah, you have beaten enough into my head where actually I do enjoy her music. So yeah, this is a big video for Sean. Definitely show him some love in the comments. Even though I didn't get a say on it, this is still more of his artist. But yeah, just be sure to show him some love on this video. For what's coming down the pipeline, the next video coming out after this one is that special video from Sean. So be sure to get ready for that. I know I'm excited for it. I know he's excited to make it, but I'm definitely excited to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, I already have Brett. Like, you don't even know this. I already have an idea of what I want to do, like timeline wise and stuff. Because I'm just trying to formulate what I want to do. Because I just want to give myself as much time to do it because I want it to turn out really well. And then Billboard after that, right? Right, Billboard.
Yes, Billboard. It will be a 2016 Billboard video after that.
Will the big songs come out that week or no?
TBD. We'll figure it out.
Works for me. Okay.
Yeah, TBD where you get that big songs. But look forward to the video from Sean. I know I'm really excited for it. It's a little bit different than anything else that we posted on our channel. And definitely be sure to let us know if that's a style of video that you would like to see more from us in the future.
Yep. Probably something that'll happen more in the summer times just because we'll have a little bit more time. Or at least I will. So you'll probably get it probably about once a year for me. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I think we've covered it all. Definitely be sure to check out that June update video if you want any more details on anything.
Yep. Be sure to do that. It's a quick little thing. It should have been up. On June 9th. So be sure to check that out just for the details on everything. Because by the time you're seeing this video, we'll pretty much be done with the cycle, other than mine. So.
Yeah, no. By the time you're seeing this video, the only thing that's left in the cycle is the Billboard video.
Yep.
Which will come out later.
Yep.
So that's all from us.
That's been it. Peace.
Peace.